Hi, I'm Chris Haigh and this is the Fiddle channel, and today we're going to play the Gypsy Jazz version of Just One of Those Things. Just one of those things. I'm going to show you the main melody. I'm going to look at the chord sequence and give you some ideas for how to solo. If you're enjoying my videos, incidentally, please do consider joining me on Patreon. Okay, this tune was written by Cole Porter for the musical comedy High Society. It was recorded twice by Django Reinhardt in 1947. He slightly changed the chords on the bridge, and I think he changed the melody a bit as well. And that's the version that we're going to do. This is a long form tune, meaning it's 64 bars long. Jazz tunes are normally 32 bars, but this is twice as long. So I'm going to give you the melody, a simple version of how to do a solo, and a look at the arpeggios for the chords and how to do a more complex solo. So let's start off with the melody, and we'll play it down the octave. So we're in D minor. I think it's good, if you can, to go straight into third position for that A note, because you get a much better vibrato and you get a nice slide as you're going up. 1, 2, 3. Now, if you've played this tune before, you might be thinking, well, some of the melody is a bit different, or you might even say wrong. The fact is that when you're dealing with a tune like this, if you're trying to work out what the actual melody is, you might listen to a verse and then you listen to the next verse as sung, and it's slightly different because the phrasing of the words is different. You listen to Django or Stefan playing the melody, and it's the same. They play it differently each time they play it. So don't get hung up on the individual notes of this tune. It's important to know the skeleton of the melody, and also to be aware of the fact that if you're playing this with non-Gypsy Jazz people, they might well completely lose you in the bridge, in the second half. But if you're playing with Gypsy Jazz, then the chords are going to be pretty much around here, and you don't have to worry too much about the exact notes of the melody. Let's do this again, and this time with the chords. Now, the A parts in particular can be played up the octave, and I think it sounds quite a lot sweeter. If I were you, I would probably at least for half of it go up the octave. And you don't want to play it in this the plain way that I just played it. And I do have a video all about how to decorate a melody. And that's very important when you're playing a melody, particularly when it's 64 bars long, that you swing it more, that you vary it more, you break up a lot of the long notes into shorter notes. But I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to now look at how to improvise over this. And I'm going to give you two different approaches. The first being the easy and bluffing approach, which is to more or less ignore the chords. So what we're going to do is treat all of the first half as if it was in either F major or D minor. And the next 16 bars we'll treat as if it's A flat going into F major and then D minor going into F major. So we're going to bluff our way through the chords. Just to listen to how this sounds. A flat. F. Now it's a lot of fun to play like that, and it's really very easy. What I'm doing is mostly either the F major pentatonic, or you can think of the same thing as the D minor pentatonic, or adding onto the pentatonic the flattened third, you get the F major blues scale, or the D minor blues scale, and I do have videos explaining about the major and minor blues scales. And then going to the bar 30 for the bridge, so we've got the A flat major blues scale, and then we get to the F, and then all of those pesky chords just disappear, almost as if by magic. And I don't think anything I did there sounded really bad. Only a jazz musician would know that I was bluffing. Anyone else would think that I was doing a pretty good job. And that is the magic of the blues scale and the pentatonic scale, that you deal so easily with all these changing chords. But that may well serve you well for several years, but eventually someone's going to find you out and you're going to have to learn to play chords properly. So one easy way to get, well, not one challenging way to get into the chord sequence of a tune like this is to play arpeggios all the way through. So that's what I'm going to do, 3-note or 4-note arpeggios, so stuff like this. I'll do that with the backing all the way through, and see if you can maybe try following with just playing pizzicato, just trying to find root third and fifth. that is quite a challenge in itself. Notice that I was going up and I was going down, not always going in the same direction. And if you keep on practicing this, then you can do really hard chord sequences, and you can dress up your arpeggios to sound like solos. Again, a bit of bluffing, but yes, on really hard chords it is a good idea just to base yourself around those arpeggios if you're struggling. So I suggest you try going through that really slowly at first and then gradually build up the speed. And I do have a video all about 4-note chords which will help you with this very thing. So having done that and got yourself with the proper feeling of the chords, then you no longer have to ignore them, and you can play a solo which actually follows the proper chord changes. So for example, at the very beginning, so getting that C sharp in there for the A7 chord is something that you wouldn't do if you were doing the pentatonic, and it does make it far more interesting if you're actually following the changes, or the next line going from the B flat major, going from the D natural to the D flat or C sharp. That makes it more interesting, and also following those diminished chords. So to play you out, I'll have a go at playing properly through the chord sequence at speed. If you'd like a copy of these dots, then do subscribe and send me an email. If you'd like to get hold of a single zip file with all of my PDFs, and that's around 350 of them so far, then do consider joining me on Patreon. For a mere £4 you get all that and a great deal more besides. There's around 50 videos which no one else can see apart from the patrons, and a whole load of PDF tune collections which also no one else can get hold of. So I'll play you out with this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again soon.